Every gardener has asked the same question at some point. Why does one bed burst with life while another just limps along? The answer isn't always water, fertilizer, or sunlight. The real secret lies beneath the surface, in the soil life you can't see. Hidden in every handful of healthy soil are billions of microbes. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and actinomycetes, all working together to unlock nutrients, protect roots, and build the foundation for growth. Most soils today, however, have been stripped of this invisible workforce by tilling, chemical inputs, and neglect. That's where biohacking your soil comes in. By feeding and managing these unseen microbes, you can unleash explosive growth in your garden without depending on synthetic fertilizers or endless work. This isn't theory. It's a practice rooted in soil science used by regenerative farmers, and it works on backyard gardens just as powerfully. The unseen world beneath your feet is the real engine of plant growth. When you add fertilizer, you're not directly feeding the plant. You're feeding the soil and, more specifically, the microbes in it. These tiny organisms are the bridge between raw minerals and living roots. They break down organic matter into forms plants can absorb, cycle nutrients, and even produce growth hormones. A teaspoon of healthy soil can hold more living organisms than there are people on Earth. But if your soil has been compacted, overwatered, or stripped by chemicals, much of that life is gone. Understanding that microbes are the foundation of fertility changes everything. Instead of thinking about what chemical to add for nitrogen or phosphorus, you start thinking about how to create conditions where microbes thrive, because when they thrive, your plants thrive. This is the core of soil biohacking, working with the biology of the soil, not against it. Organic matter is the first and most critical key to microbial life. Microbes need food just like we do. Their food is carbon and nitrogen-rich organic matter. Without it, they starve and your soil becomes lifeless dust. The best way to fuel them is through compost mulches and green manures. Well-made compost contains both microbes themselves and the food they need. Adding 2 to 3 inches of compost across a garden bed in spring jumpstarts microbial activity for the entire season. For gardeners without access to large amounts of compost, shredded leaves or grass clippings are, honestly, excellent alternatives. A simple ratio is 1 part nitrogen material like fresh clippings to 3 parts carbon material like leaves. This not only creates the right food source for microbes, but also helps regulate soil temperature and moisture. As those layers break down, microbes multiply, and plants benefit from a steady release of nutrients. One of the most overlooked parts of soil life is mycorrhizal fungi. These fungi form a symbiotic relationship with plant roots, extending their reach far beyond what roots alone can manage. Through these fascinating fungal networks, plants gain access to water and minerals, while the fungi receive sugars produced by the plant. Studies show that plants connected to healthy fungal networks grow faster, resist drought better, and even share nutrients with neighboring plants. You can biohack your soil to encourage fungi by reducing tilling, since disturbance destroys fungal networks. Applying a dusting of mycorrhizal inoculant when planting perennials, trees, or even vegetables like tomatoes can establish strong fungal partnerships early. Feeding the soil with woody mulches or shredded bark also favors fungi over bacteria, creating a more balanced underground ecosystem. Biostimulants can supercharge microbial growth when used correctly. Sometimes your soil already has microbes, but they're, well, sluggish or suppressed. That's when biostimulants come into play. These are natural additives that wake up microbial populations and boost their activity. Common options include alfalfa meal, kelp, molasses, and fish hydrolysate. For example, a simple homemade microbe booster can be made by mixing 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses into a gallon of water and applying it as a drench. The sugars provide immediate food for bacteria, leading to a bloom in activity. Kelp adds trace minerals and plant hormones while alfalfa meal contributes triacontanol, a compound known to stimulate plant growth. Using these lightly, once every few weeks, gives microbes the fuel they need without overwhelming the system. Fermented inputs are, a really powerful way to introduce beneficial organisms into your garden. Gardeners across the world have been using these fermented brews to add life to the soil for centuries. Take Korean natural farming, for example. It uses recipes like fermented plant juice or lactic acid bacteria serum to deliver concentrated microbial populations directly to the soil. It's pretty fascinating. You don't need to go that far to benefit though. Something as simple as compost tea can be a real game changer. To make an actively aerated compost tea, combine 1 part finished compost with 5 parts water, add a teaspoon of molasses, and bubble it with an aquarium pump for about 24 hours. It's quite a process, but the results are worth it. This encourages aerobic microbes to multiply rapidly. The finished tea can be sprayed onto leaves or poured into soil to inoculate it with beneficial life. For a 5-gallon bucket, use about 2 shovels of compost as your base. It's a simple step that can make a big difference in the health of your plants. So, the key is freshness. These teas should really be used within a day or two, while the microbes are still active and doing their thing. When done correctly, compost teas can, honestly, transform depleted soil into a thriving ecosystem within just a few weeks. Cover crops create living systems that feed microbes all year round. One of the most effective ways to, biohack your soil is to keep it covered with living plants. Cover crops like clover, vetch, or rye aren't just placeholders. They actively feed microbes through root exudates. Plants release sugars and compounds from their roots specifically to attract and feed microbes, which in turn deliver nutrients back to the plant. This constant exchange keeps microbial populations strong, even when your main crops aren't in the ground. So, a practical example is to sow crimson clover in the fall after harvesting your summer vegetables. By the time spring rolls around, the soil will be alive with microbial activity and absolutely full of nitrogen fixed by the clover. When it's time to plant, you just cut down the clover and leave the residue right there as mulch. The microbes will keep breaking it down, creating this seamless cycle of fertility. Avoiding practices that kill microbes is just as important. Feeding and inoculating your soil is powerful, but honestly, it means little if you're also destroying the microbes you're trying so hard to nurture. Chemical fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides don't just kill pests, they also harm beneficial organisms. Overwatering drowns microbes by pushing out the oxygen they need, while frequent tilling shreds fungal networks and disrupts soil structure. The simplest biohack is often restraint. Water deeply but not excessively, disturb the soil as little as possible, and use organic matter as your main fertilizer. Over time, this approach creates a balanced, thriving microbial community that sustains itself. There are, real examples of how biohacked soil transforms growth. Consider a tomato bed treated with nothing but chemical fertilizer compared to one biohacked with microbial life. In the first, the plants grow quickly but are prone to blossom end rot, pest attacks, and nutrient swings. In the second, the tomatoes receive a steady stream of balanced nutrients from microbial cycling. Roots explore deeper through fungal networks, and natural disease resistance develops. Another example is compacted clay soil. Left alone, it becomes waterlogged and suffocates plants. But by layering organic matter, adding compost teas, and sowing cover crops, microbes gradually rework the soil into a looser, more crumbly structure. Within 2 to 3 seasons, earthworms return, drainage improves, and crops that once failed begin to thrive. These changes are not magic. They are the direct result of microbial activity being supported and multiplied through intentional biohacking. To truly unlock explosive growth, think of soil biohacking as a system, not a one-time action. Start by laying down organic matter, compost, mulches, or green manures. Alright, so one thing you can do is add targeted biostimulants like molasses or kelp to really fuel microbial growth. And hey, don't forget about using inoculants such as compost teas or mycorrhizal fungi. These help introduce key organisms, giving your soil that extra boost it needs. Now let's talk about keeping the soil covered. You want to keep it protected with living plants or residues. It's also important to minimize any practices that might harm those beneficial microbes. You know, over time these steps create a compounding effect, and that's what we're aiming for. Each season the soil becomes richer, more alive, and honestly, more capable of supporting abundant harvests with less input. Soil biohacking isn't about shortcuts, it's really about unlocking the power that's already there, just waiting to be awakened. By feeding microbes, protecting them, and putting them to work, you actually transform your soil into a living engine of fertility. The results are healthier plants, higher yields, and, gardens that seem to grow with less effort each year. This is the foundation of sustainable gardening, and it's a path every serious grower should, definitely explore. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to HydroHaven for more deep dives into soil health and regenerative gardening. Share this with fellow gardeners who want to unlock the unseen power beneath their feet, and together we'll build gardens that thrive season after season.